Mindhunter, the David Fincher show. One of the best shows I've ever watched.
Horrible decision to cancel a show like that.
It costs too much money. You just spent $200 million on a Gal Gadot bullshit movie.
Yeah.
You can't get Mindhunter season 3. You Netflix. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Mob Podcast, episode 61, here in studio. RJ, joined as always by Matt.
What's going on?
Nick behind the camera. As always, guys, Movie Mob Podcast drops Fridays at 6 p.m. Be here if you want to hear the latest movie news and discussions here. Not a ton of topics. This strike is really killing us, but we're going to grind it out. We got some stuff here to talk about, and we're going right into discussions this week because we got two trailers. One is not great because I thought it was an Adam Sandler movie when I saw the thumbnail. I watched it. It's really not an Adam Sandler movie. It's called You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah. It's on Netflix. It's one of I'm assuming that Sandler deal that he made. It's his daughter, Sadie Sandler, starring in it. Did you watch the trailer?
I did watch the trailer right after you sent it to me. This looks like some bullshit I would pick to talk about.
I was just going to say, yeah.
I watched this. I go, I can't believe RJ put this on. This is something stupid that I would put.
Yep. That's how desperate I was.
But even I would not watch this movie, RJ.
Oh, wow.
And that's saying a lot. I'm like you. I saw The Sandman. I said, you know what? Okay, maybe. And then he really wasn't in it. It seems like he's more of a father figure in this movie. It's really about the daughters. This movie doesn't interest me, but I will say, I like the themes and the morals and the values they're going for.
It's a coming of age. Matt loves the coming of age.
Well, I also think it's a very real thing. Coming of age, this could happen,
Sure.
Middle school, high school, whatever they are, best friends. One of them likes, one of the friends hooks up with the guy the other one likes, and tension, and it's a very realistic story.
Good concept. Doesn't look good.
No.
I mean, Netflix, we could talk about this a little more in a minute, but they're really great at churning out shit, and then continue to raise their prices here. And I don't want to shit on Sandler here.
Let's shit on
I don't know
him.
who wrote
Let's
this,
do it.
But Nick, what'd you think of this trailer?
Well, so I agree with both of you guys. It's not a movie that I would watch. Unfortunately, the trailer was so fucking long. I feel like I already watched the movie.
That's fair.
It was like 5-minute trailer,
and it had so many it hit the same beats like 3 times.
But it hit like heavy plot points. I feel.
Dude.
I mean, what else could possibly happen in this movie? There's two friends.
It looks like it's based
I feel like
on
we know everything.
I feel like I watched the movie already.
Even the resolution.
I mean, that's a great way to get people to watch movies they don't really want to watch. Just put the whole movie in the trailer.
Right. Yeah. It's based on a young adult novel. Sonny Sandler. Sorry.
I feel like this doesn't have to be based on anything. I feel like this happens all the time.
It honestly felt like it was just some generic thing that they came up with.
We could have came up with
Now,
this.
Adam didn't write this, so he doesn't have to take the fall on this one. He's just taking the paycheck.
I feel like this is
And
great
his
for
daughter's
him.
paycheck.
Yeah.
Like he's in the movie probably 15 minutes, and he gets the bag still.
Right.
This is great for him.
This was like Netflix had the rights to this book, and we're like, we need to make it. And Adam's like, we'll throw my daughter in there to get a career started or something like that. Weekend at Bernie's, and then give me Idina Menzel to play my wife again.
She's an uncut gem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Seems like there. Maybe
is it a crossover?
Maybe he's having an affair with her.
Yeah,
I would if I was him.
Wow. And now I think this, we've a lot of rumors about the Sandler cinematic universe. Does Sandler come out and make a movie with all his characters intermingling? I think they should. What's your favorite Sandler movie?
Oh, great question.
Because how do you top? I'm just saying before this movie comes, how do you top Hubie Halloween on Netflix?
Movie stunk.
What a film!
Remember you made me and Christian watch that one time.
Yeah. Murder Mystery 2.
Yeah.
You watch that? Huh?
Listen. It's a very generic answer. I'm going Happy Gilmore.
Wow.
Dude, that's just a fucking classic.
Yep.
But underrated, low key, up there is Big Daddy.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Big Daddy doesn't get talked about.
Is that the one with the Sprouse kid?
Yeah, the kid, like he showed him the pee on the restaurant door, and they throw the sticks at the roller skaters.
Yes.
That one doesn't get brought up enough. That one's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
That one hits home too. Like that's emotional at the end.
This is rated PG-13. Interesting. That struck me as a PG movie.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with Billy Madison.
Well, it's my dad's favorite.
I don't know. There's just something really stupid.
That one's the weirdest.
It's almost the stupid. Yeah, it really is. With the penguin.
Oh, I love the penguin.
Mrs. Veronica. You got the bus driver.
Dude, Steve Buscemi.
What's his name? Who's the bus driver? He passed away. Chris Farley. Yeah. So good.
Buscemi's got like the hit list with the lipstick.
Yep.
He crosses out Sandler.
Yeah, it's just
after he calls him.
Really dumb shit. The concept's completely ridiculous.
More McDonald's.
Right.
He's just his bum friend who hangs out at the pool all day.
Another one who passed away, Norm.
Dude,
Great
he's a
guy.
legend.
Great guy.
A lot
Nick,
of deaths this year.
yeah.
Famous deaths. We could go with Spanglish.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Wow.
Spanglish. I saw that on an airplane
I forgot
once.
about that one.
Yep. Yep. I was a young kid, and there's a scene where they're like fighting, and the mom is yelling in Spanish, and Adam Sandler's the dad, so the daughter has to translate, and she says the SH word.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
jeez.
Yeah. And I remember watching that on a plane and being like, can
Really
anybody hear my
breaking
headphones? My
boundaries.
headphones plugged in, you know? Yeah, it was one of those. Yeah, I don't know. Uncut Gems is
I mean, Punch Drunk Love, if we're going like serious
50
Sandler
First
movies.
Dates.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
What's the worst one, you think?
Hubie Halloween.
You think Hubie?
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill.
I like Dunkachino.
Dunkachino. That movie, like, I kind of want
What's
to
the one where he
rewatch
plays the devil or the demon or something, and he comes back? He's
Lil Nicky.
yeah, I watched that one. That one wasn't bad.
I don't even know that one.
That one
Oh,
wasn't
dude.
bad. I watched that one.
This anger
recently.
management with
That's underrated.
with Jack.
That's my boy.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's my boy.
I don't know. The
Jack and Jill
Mr.
is pretty
Mr.
fucking-
Deeds is good.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder.
Mr. Deeds.
The
pretty good.
Love
Cobbler.
Mr. Deeds. Oh, jeez.
Waterboy.
Waterboy.
That's a good
Waterboy. That's
one.
probably the best one.
Bobby
I would say.
Boucher. Come on, that
Grown
one's
Ups.
awesome. Grown Ups is good.
Grown Ups.
Waterboy's pretty good.
Dude, there's so many good ones. The only one I can't watch is Click.
It's
Oh,
a sad
Click.
movie. Click's
I
solid.
hate
Click's good.
Click.
I like Click.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's definitely sad,
Yeah.
but it's a good film.
I actually just saw a good TikTok, and it was or Instagram reel, whatever you call it. It was like Sandler waking up with the remote. It's like when you wake up and you're back in 202016, and
Oh,
it's
that'd be
like,
great.
Yeah, I thought
that would be lovely.
I would do that.
Good year,
Dude,
2016.
great year.
Yeah.
Great summer. Good
Um,
music that year.
I
Good
think
times.
this Bar Mitzvah movie though, it needs more Sandler. You know, I feel like you
Yeah.
twist this movie in a different direction. What if it's kind of like Billy Madison? He's like in his 40s, 50s,
Beats the show.
and he just converted to Judaism. Now he is having his bar mitzvah.
Who's
at
going to believe
50?
that Adam Sandler just converted to Judaism, though? I mean,
I don't
come
know.
on.
Do you see him playing pickup basketball with Timothy Chalamet in New York?
He plays it with everybody.
I know, he's
There's like
great.
always a weird. Whenever it's a paparazzi photo, it's either him crossing the street in like the worst homeless
Yep.
clothing he can find, or he's like playing pickup
hooping.
with like the most random celebrities out
hooping.
there.
Oh,
Big
I'm
celebrities.
pretty sure on sets, like he has like a
Court.
just a basketball hoop there.
Dude, he played at Beverly High School when he was filming Hubie
Oh,
Halloween.
right. You said they used the court.
He has a picture with the fucking who's the guy like does all the sports shit? The
Gary
what's it-
Tangway.
whatever the fucking I don't know. The athletic director.
Oh,
He used a picture
yeah,
of like the
yeah.
athletic
AD.
director at my school. Yeah, the AD. It's just him and Sandler after they played basketball
Mhm.
together. It's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a legend of the game. He's also a great musical artist. But
Yeah.
I'm not too excited for this movie. I probably won't be watching it. But
No.
the next one is very interesting. Another Netflix film called Maestro.
Mm.
I heard about this a while ago, and then I forgot about it. But Bradley Cooper is directing this one. He's also starring in it, along with Carey Mulligan. And it's a biopic about Leonard Bernstein, who is probably, I don't know, one of, if not the most famous American music conductor of all time. He did the music for West Side Story. He did a bunch of stuff, but I don't think he did many like film scores, from what I could see. But
West Side Story is a play, though.
yeah,
So
but he did the music for the play.
right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yep. So pretty interesting. It's a teaser trailer, very short. Obviously Bradley Cooper, great prosthetics. He looks like it's going to be showing multiple stages of his life, getting older and stuff. So from that standpoint, it looks great. 4:3 aspect ratio, a little black and white action. I'm getting some vibes of Blonde though. I'm a little worried.
Potentially.
Because remember how beautiful, like you watch the Blonde show and you're like, shit, this looks awesome. Like the cinematography wise,
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's accent in this, I don't.
Oh, you didn't like
a
it?
little odd.
You're always
I
picky
think
with the
it's
accents.
tough with
Leo
these
DiCaprio.
movies. When it's out of context, it's tough.
Yeah.
Because then I said the same thing about Matt Damon and Oppenheimer, and then I actually didn't mind that line in the movie. So it's a minute and a half trailer. I don't know, Matt. What'd you think? I don't know much about Leonard Bernstein. I don't think you do, right?
That name means
But that's
nothing to me.
good though, because now you watch this movie and you learn a little.
Well,
Yeah,
dude,
I mean, did the name
I've
J.
definitely
Robert
heard-
Oppenheimer mean anything to you before?
No,
Well,
it did not.
actually,
It did
probably
not.
did because your college
well,
thesis.
a little
but-
bit, but like
I've definitely heard the name though.
I haven't even heard the name.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I didn't even know. Watching this trailer, it seems like less about like a biopic of him and more of like a love story between him and the missus.
Yes, yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? Seems that what they're going for. This struck me as a movie I would never seek out, but maybe I was in like a film class in high school, and the teacher would like, we'd have to watch this, and I'd go, you know what, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I liked that. Listen, I liked what they're going for. And you said like the blonde comparisons. I don't know. I feel like blonde had like a darker tone.
It did,
but like not one that was like good. Like the Batman has a dark tone, but like blonde is kind of like dirty. You know what I mean? In a bad way.
Yeah, in a bad way.
I don't know. I don't think Bradley Cooper would like go that route.
Yep.
I mean, it seems more like kind of like a lovely love story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of throughout the years, they meet, they're young, and they still do like the behind the back thing when they're older.
Yep.
I don't know. It seemed kind of cutesy. I feel like this could be like a wholehearted movie. You learn about him. I don't know, man. It looks
tragic ending.
Yeah.
A Star is Born again.
I feel like this
for
could,
Bradley.
be a tearjerker.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I was interested, man. And listen, Bradley Cooper, I think, is one of the best in the game right now. So if he's in it, the prosthetics look good. This girl, she kind of, I feel like, look at that.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good. He's getting some heat for the nose thing.
What do you mean?
That they did some prosthetics to make his nose.
Oh, they gave him the
pretty long.
schnoz.
But and when in reality, I don't think Bernstein's nose was that big.
Can I say, who gives a shit? Like, really? Like, they made his nose a little bit. It's a fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
what
fair.
kind of shit were they getting for that?
I just saw some stuff on Twitter. Like, someone was saying how, like, people criticizing the like saying it's racist against Jewish people having like big
give
noses.
Me a fucking.
And then they were like,
too.
Bradley Cooper's also the director, so he made the creative choice to do that. Yeah. Something like that.
You think when they made that decision, Bradley Cooper was really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was not.
He was like, this guy,
Makes no sense.
I mean, it's pretty cool though. I mean, it does really look like him, especially the older scenes when he has the gray hair and stuff. I was looking at some pictures, pretty cool. Nick, this seems like it's in your right
up my alley. I'm also reluctant because of the same. I have the same like potential issues with it that you have over the blonde thing. Like, I don't want to. The cinematography was great in Blonde, but the entire movie was incredibly uncomfortable to watch.
Yep,
and not in a way that. It was kind of like, and I'm sure Matt would agree. It was kind of like The Idol. It was just fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It wasn't, good or bad. When you go like super avant-garde with these movies and super artsy-fartsy with these movies, like it's very difficult to follow, and you kind of have to be that Emerson College grad. You got to be that artsy film kid that can be like, well, I'll let that slide, and I'll put the pieces together by myself, and you look in for symbolism. Matt doesn't want to look for symbolism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe a little, but not when it comes to like the aspect ratios.
On the first watch, you're just watching.
Just fucking watch. It's just a movie.
Just want Tom Cruise jumping off of trains.
Right.
Right. And like this is one of those things where like when we talked about Oppenheimer, and we were mentioning I mentioned the editing, and I said that when they would mention a character, they would like blip in real quick that character.
Yep.
If this was like 1970. That would be considered super crazy avant-garde, like to do that. That was never a thing. They would reference the character directly. But like now that's kind of common practice, I would say. This I really liked it though, with regard to the look of it.
Yes.
It looks like something out of 1975. The scene where it looks like he's inside a college.
And he's conducting.
Something. But it looked like
Maestroing.
It was, I don't know, the exposure was weird. It's definitely shot on film. It was really cool. It just looks really like a 70s movie.
I mean, he's a good director. I mean, A Star is Born, I thought was really good.
Yeah,
and obviously it's a similar thing. You got a relationship, some music involved in this one, and it's interesting that his wife is on the poster. She's the main.
I was going to say,
like you were saying, it's probably really going to focus on the relationship.
Sounds like it.
I think with Blonde though, to play devil's advocate, it was based on that kind of fictional book. So I guess with this, we might have a more honest and sincere take on it, which I think could be good. And then Bradley Cooper's directing it. I have faith in him as a director to do that.
Can I be a pain in the ass?
Yeah.
I mean, you feel this way. You've said it about music biopics, but just like biopics in general. Like, are we like, I'm sure Bradley Cooper did a great job. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad movie. I'm just saying, how many fucking stories about, like, where's, like, I need a Star Wars. We need, like, a thing that's going to be, like, the next...
Dune.
Not a Star Wars movie. We need something like a... Yeah, Dune.
Dune.
You know?
You're saying, like an original
something
thing that
new.
blows up.
Yeah,
because even Dune had been done before with with David Lynch, and it was a really famous novel. So I get what you're saying, because Star Wars, when it came out, was literally original, right from George Lucas. Yeah,
100%. I don't know. I just want more originality. I want something that's like organic and real, and like even with the creator that's coming out, that's based on a book, right? The creator.
No, I think that's original.
The problem I have
Hans Zimmer's doing the score for that. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I got problems with the creator already.
Me too.
Wait, what are we talking about? The creator with John David Washington?
Is that the guy from
What's
Tenet?
your problem with it? The trailer spoiling
like
too
it.
much?
No, my problem with it is in the trailer they used real footage of an actual catastrophe and pawned it off as a bomb exploding.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
kind
really.
of fucked up. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
it's a weird thing editing wise. You don't use real catastrophes in footage.
Yeah.
It makes it less cool. But especially when you're trying to make an alien movie or something,
Right.
and you're showing real people dying, so it's kind of fucked
Sure.
up. But
I'm out.
I didn't know that.
yeah, the Beirut explosion.
Oh, really?
They in the trailer they like literally used actual footage of the Beirut, that big explosion that happened a few years ago. Whatever,
That's
the big one.
That's in bad taste.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
you got to
bad
wonder
taste.
if that was the trailer editor.
Yeah, I mean
Or
maybe
if it's
they're
gonna be
going
in
to
the
use
movie.
footage that they use though. So I don't. But my point is, I don't know. It's just a weird. It's like a weird
Yeah.
thing to use, and like we have technology good enough that you can fucking make
Right.
a bomb like that in
Right,
a
like
in
a
a
Nolan.
computer,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Nolan or whatever. Like there's no reason to show catastrophe. Totally aside from that, I watched. I love the black and white. I really like that black and white is kind of coming back a little bit in a more mainstream thing. This is like the 5th movie where we've seen black and white
True.
in the past, I don't know, a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, I think when used right, it can now help different. Because I think especially in Oppenheimer, if all those scenes were in color, I think it'd be way more confusing. Because you can kind of differentiate. Okay, now that it's black and white, we know we're in the other timeline.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was a great use of it.
Yeah. Well, but I was gonna say I saw Bradley Cooper in Nightmare Alley. I went to the
Oh
theater.
yeah, that was another one that was good. Yeah.
And I saw it in black and white, and I'm just
Right.
saying I refuse to watch that movie in color because it was so good in black and white. Like it
Had
was
you
so
seen
worth
it before in color?
I saw a trailer for it in color. I went to the theater and it was a black and white.
See, I saw it in
thing.
color because that's all they had on.
I don't want to ruin it
HBO.
for myself. And then recently, I didn't even know it was the same movie. I saw like someone was talking in a YouTube video I was watching or something, and they like pulled up a still from Nightmare
Yeah.
Alley, and it took me like the entirety of the length that the clip was shown to be like, oh, that's Nightmare Alley. Like I was like,
yeah.
what the fuck is it? It was a great movie. I don't know. I think he'll do it well. Hopefully.
You know what you really got to watch is Tar.
I know you keep telling
with
me that.
Kate Blanchett, because it's fictional, but it's about like a composer, and she like she like kind of fakes her backstory a bit, and part of it is like she had this mentor-mentee relationship with Leonard Bernstein. It's pretty interesting. Hey, the Burn Man from Lawrence, Mass, born and raised.
Lawrence.
Born and raised.
dogs,
Lawrence,
too.
man.
Yeah.
You sure he's Jewish? He's not Dominican?
Oh, jeez.
Just asking.
There's a lot of Dominicans
But
there.
no, he is.
Hey, I
he's-
love Dominicans. They have great food too.
Listen,
Let me tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Puerto
they do.
Rican food.
They know how to
nice.
party.
Yep.
you know?
But I don't know. I mean, I'm
Liberties.
gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I hope it's not 3 hours. You know, we've been getting a lot
Yeah.
of 3-hour movies. I think we need to chill out a bit.
This should be under 2 hours.
2:15. How about
Oh,
that?
okay.
You like that? 2
I'm
hours.
a good
15 minutes?
90-page script guy for a feature. I like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Sure, if it's
90
like
minutes.
a smaller thing.
30,
yeah, yeah,
60,
yeah.
90, beginning, middle, end.
I like
To me,
you
like an
know,
hour,
like-
an
No,
hour
it's-
50.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah,
a good
okay.
length.
And that's fine too.
Yeah.
You know, but
'Cause
once
that-
you
to
cross
me,
that
like-
2 mark, you're really pushing it.
See, an hour 30 for me is a great animated film
Okay.
because you don't
Oh, yeah,
you didn't
that's
have too
good.
much juice.
Intergalactic.
But you know, add 20 more minutes and you get a
Well,
know.
so for me, it's more like when you have Dune that was 3 hours or whatever it was, right?
Sure.
Dune Part 1. And then you're going to have a Dune Part 2. An hour and a half, like a 90-minute Dune, would have been like you left wanting more. Like it flies by real quick. When we left Oppenheimer, like I was definitely electrified.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, this is great. This
Yeah.
was a great movie. I didn't need a part 2.
Yeah.
That's it. We got it. 3 hours. I'm good. I don't need Killers of the Flower Moon
Part 2
part
is us
2.
blowing up in an explosion.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Who knows? Give it
Yeah.
up 6 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know what how long this is gonna be. Do you have any idea how long this is gonna be?
No.
Also, I care a little bit less. I'm gonna tell you, RJ, because it's on Netflix. So like,
I mean, it is going to be in limited theaters on November 22nd.
that's for Oscar.
We won't.
Let me see.
Netflix.
It's premiering in Venice in September.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's 129 minutes.
Yeah, it's just under.
Nice.
That's
90
what I'm
minutes.
asking
There
for.
you go. Yeah, there
Perfect.
we go. All right.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper knows what the fuck's
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
He knows
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going on.
Well, is Bradley Cooper? I was thinking about this because he's been around for a while. He's done a lot of different movies. Obviously, The Hangover, Wedding Crashers, but then he got into the drama roles with. I feel like Silver Linings Playbook was like one of the first ones that he kind of jumped into a bit more serious role. What do we think of Bradley? Because I'm a big fan of Bradley Cooper. I think he's underrated personally as an actor. I'd like to see him in more stuff. But what do you think, Matt? Underrated, overrated?
I'm a big fan. I don't know if he's underrated. I feel like he's a big name. Like I feel like my mom would know Bradley Cooper.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like he's not like in as many movies as Leo and stuff.
That's true. Yeah, he's not on Leo's level.
Would you say he's properly rated then?
Yeah, I would say he's like an all-star caliber player.
Okay, he's all-star.
No, dude, he's like everything he's in, man. He's good. You see him like he can do comedy, The Hangover.
Yep.
Star is Born. He can even fucking sing. You know, learned how to sing for that movie. He can really do it all, man. He's a well-rounded actor. He's a good-looking guy. I feel like everyone likes Bradley Cooper.
I just watched. It'll come to our question of the day too. I just watched A Place Beyond the Pines with. Good movie, and he's also in that.
Oh, nice.
What do you think here, Nick?
So I was just gonna say, and it'll go into our next part too. That who would you prefer, Bradley Cooper or Ryan Gosling?
Okay.
Because they both kind of started out like I have a I don't know what you call it. Like I don't have an issue with it, but there are definitely actors out there who are the playboy, like sexy. This is what you're here for. You're the Ken doll essentially of the movie. And then there's like actors that are really well-rounded and decent. So like I used to think Bradley Cooper was the one they would drop in a movie to be the hot one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe he was. I never found him incredibly funny. He's in that movie Yes Man. He plays Jim Carrey's best friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's very old, like 2005 Yes Man.
I remember that one.
And I'm a big Jim Carrey guy though. I think he's hilarious. Even though he's a nutbag, like granted, like his stuff is funny.
Yeah, the OGs.
Yeah, exactly. The old stuff, 90s stuff is really good. But in that one, Jim Carrey's supposed to play the weirdo, and Bradley Cooper's supposed to be the hot best friend with the girlfriend and all this other stuff. He was never like, even in The Hangover, he's like he's the guy that's getting married or whatever, and like it's like, all right, dude, we get it. You know, it's not Alan, okay?
Right. Yeah.
He's not that. But then you see him in A Star Is Born, or you see him in Nightmare Alley, or you see him hopefully in something like this, and you're like, shit, dude, like you.
No, he's
like
Nightmare Alley was good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course, you're hot and you're talented. Let me guess, you got 3 legs too. You know, you fucking cock. Like you suck. You know, like fuck off. And but it's cool because he's a cool director and a cool filmmaker, and hopefully this does really well. I really, now that you said hour 29, I like that a lot. So
I mean, on the topic of Hangover though, unrelated, I saw this another Instagram reel. I've been getting on the Instagram reel train here. Someone was pitching a Hangover reboot. Now, listen, I don't think we need a Hangover reboot.
I'm sorry. Did we get 3 fucking Hangover movies already?
But the cast had me going. It was the boys. It was like Huey, Soldier Boy, Carl Urban.
Butcher.
Like, imagine with those guys. I feel like that'd be good. I feel like that'd be good.
Oh, the boys. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I might rewatch The Boys, dude.
And like
just,
Soldier Boy
so
would
good,
be Bradley
man.
Cooper. I don't know. I feel like
Dude, how good is The Boys?
Yeah, when is that coming back?
Like, seriously.
I don't know. Well, we got that spinoff coming.
That might be the most underrated show on TV, The Boys.
You know what I was going to say I think is the most underrated show on TV? Righteous Gemstones.
Okay.
I know. You've been talking about that a lot.
I cannot believe... You laugh, you cry, you mostly
love
laugh.
Danny McBride.
Yeah.
I will say that it is a little over the top with regard to the ridiculousness of, like, in season 1. If you're not a Danny McBride fan, and like, or like if you never, watched his stuff, and then you go to watch this, like, it's a bunch of 35-year-old actors acting like they're 6 years old. Like, it's literally that bad. With like it would never happen in real life. John Goodman in it is.
Oh, he's good.
I mean, he's fucking outstanding.
Who's not a fan of Danny McBride? I mean,
no, I hear you. I hear you. It's very I'm telling you, I am, and I wasn't before.
Yeah,
and not like I wasn't before. I just didn't know. And I watched. But so like you get past episode 1, episode 2, and then all of a sudden you just immediately start to care about these characters, and it's 3 seasons deep. It's so good. I love it.
What's the other one he did with HBO?
Okay, there's 3 on HBO that are his.
Show?
Bell.
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and
That
Down.
was a long time ago. That was old.
Yeah. Shout out Luigi. He's a fan of that one.
Yeah. I was gonna start that, but soon at some point. But
he's
we
great.
gotta.
Before we get into that, I
yeah.
wanted to talk about like Netflix for a bit because
Do
both of these trailers, I think, very different trailers, right? Both coming from Netflix. Last year, I think Netflix spent the most money out of any studio, right, on film productions. They have a movie coming out with Gal Gadot. I don't know if you heard
more
about
than Disney on
you
film
hear about
production.
Yeah, I watched their Hot Ones. They were
Yes.
promoting it.
They spent the most money.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Love Gal.
And they have this movie coming out with Gal Gadot. It's called, what the hell is it called? Heart of Stone.
Yeah, her Hot Ones just came out last week. They were talking about it. That's how I found out about it.
Like,
But that was on Thursday, I think. I don't know when the movie
Right.
came out. I watched the Hot Ones
well, I'm curious because I saw the budget.
this past Thursday.
So this Heart of Stone movie with Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
To me, it's, you were just saying, Nick, about how we need more original movies, right? This is an original movie. I don't think it's it. This isn't. I mean,
This isn't what we needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a perfect. So I'm getting vague results here on terms of how big the budget was, because that's the other thing that Netflix is sketchy about is they don't release publicly how much they actually spent on these movies.
Do you know why that is?
Why?
So the big studios like Warner Brothers, Netflix. I mean, Warner Brothers and Universal and Disney and all that stuff. They're corporations. But then every time they make something like TV series, whatever it is, it's a tax thing. But what they do is they'll make like Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope LLC.
Okay.
And that becomes its own thing.
Okay.
And then that budget is the amount that they bring in, and then all of that gross revenue and everything, that's how they pay their taxes and stuff.
Gotcha.
Which is why you hear more about box office stuff as opposed to how much Universal made over the year. You know what I'm saying? So like I guarantee you, if you looked up what Netflix could find, what Netflix brought in monetarily speaking, like for revenue as a whole company,
yeah.
I guarantee you that they would be that number you could find because they're publicly traded. So, but I'm saying on these individual levels, I don't know if they do those LLC things or if Netflix just owns everything and
right,
and then they just
did you see Disney is under some heat too? They're getting a lawsuit for
another one
for something with the Fox movies that they own. Like financing company is suing them because they claim Disney's using all these backdoor methods to keep the profits of the Fox movies that they purchased that they're releasing. From what I understand, it was a lot of.
Oh my god!
It was a lot of like jargon that I didn't understand.
Dude, they're dead. Like Disney is dead in the water. It's crazy. It's so sad.
But back to this movie, I can't find out how much this movie costs, but just off the trailer, we can guess it's definitely over 100 million.
Well, it's hundreds of millions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just like
shot on location.
It's like, why are you spending? So I think about how many good movies they could make, dividing that 200 million up.
Well, and Netflix, especially when they first came out, like when you open up a streaming service when you're a nobody, you buy everything. And Netflix really used to be good with indie films and smaller films and A24 type deals and stuff like that. I mean, Warner Brothers has really kind of got their hooks into A24, but Netflix was big for, and Amazon Prime stopped doing it too. But they used to do it. Like you could, if you had an indie film, you could put it on Amazon Prime, and they cut that off too because they got really big.
Right.
But like it's annoying because you have these studios where if they had just divvied 200 million up and given $1 million to a whole bunch of to 200 indie films that were really good.
It's a good script, not even indie, like just good scripts.
Sure, whatever.
Even if they costed 20 million.
Sure.
Like
Agreed.
this script's probably shit.
How do you even write a script like that, RJ?
Yeah.
Exterior, gunshots.
Yeah.
Cut 2. Exterior, car chase, cut 2. Like, there's nothing.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, like, seriously, what's the last Netflix movie, like a Netflix original movie you've watched that has been good? We didn't like Blonde.
I don't know. I will say the Kanye documentary was
that was good, but
awesome.
I don't
It's a documentary
think,
though.
Yeah,
but I don't even think Netflix probably distributed it.
Yeah, they bought it probably.
Yeah, Cootie kind of made it.
Yeah.
His buddy.
And I was gonna say The Irishman, but
I gotta look.
Netflix didn't produce The Irishman; they distributed The Irishman.
Right.
So it's like how many things that out of all the stuff that they're producing and distributing, they make shit.
I know.
None of it's good. Stranger Things. Okay, we
was
we
like their
could count on
biggest
our
strength.
fingers.
Even that, I would say Stranger Things season 1. Like
Sure.
Stranger
I think
Things.
that's
but
when
we can
everything
count on our
changed.
fingers how many original things they've done that are really actually quality.
Yeah.
I like Ozark. What was the other one?
Ginny and Georgia, of course.
Ginny and Georgia. There you go, Matt. They canceled it, but for some reason, Mindhunter, the David Fincher show, one of the best shows I've ever watched.
What a horrible decision to cancel a show like that.
It costs too much money. You just spent $200 million on a Gal Gadot bullshit movie. You can't get Mindhunter season 3.
They
should have put
Gal Gadot in the Mindhunter series.
I like Gal Gadot.
I like her too. I think she's great, but like, what the fuck is this?
Stupid.
You know,
She
but
seemed really
that
nice
Mindhunter series, dude. That was so
you'd like it
good.
too, I think it's a bit dark, but
It's pretty dark.
it's really well done.
It's really well done.
What's
but it's
crazy
pretty
about
dark.
that is like the cinematography. It's literally a Fincher show.
Yeah.
It's just like it's crazy.
I saw a thing with Christopher Nolan recently where he got the 20 questions rapid fire asked. That was another Instagram.
Yeah, I've
reel
been
I saw.
watching a lot of those.
Yeah, and they asked if he would ever do a show, and
said-
but he kept saying pass to a lot of questions, and I thought the ones that he said pass to were very smart. Like, he's very intelligent. But then they said, would you ever do a TV show? And he's just flat out said no.
No,
And
yeah.
I was like, give it 20 years, you will.
Think so?
Yeah,
give
I
him
don't
the
know.
bag.
Dude,
If David Fincher's gonna do a TV
Yeah,
show,
but
give him enough money.
Nolan's like big screen, man.
Right now
you
he
can't
is.
shoot an
Agreed.
IMAX TV show.
agreed. No,
Maybe.
he can't do an IMAX TV show. That's true.
Yeah.
But like I
Those
don't know.
interviews were good. Those were interesting questions that guy's asked him. I think, what was the other one? He asked him if he had ever do a Star Wars movie. He said pass.
Yeah, and I thought that was so brilliant.
Yeah.
So brilliant for him to
Yes.
say pass because he knows that. Of course, he's not going to do a Star Wars movie, but he would say pass because it's like the
Or
the
he's under an
business side of
NDA
things.
and he has had discussions. You don't know.
Yeah, no. I'm saying
Yeah.
like there's so with Christopher Nolan, the fighting between Universal and Warner Brothers and all that other bullshit that he's been struggling with and everything else, and
Yeah.
then Disney gets involved or anybody else gets involved. For him to say pass is the perfect answer.
Yeah.
you
Dude,
know?
I'm praying his next movie's Bond.
Yeah, I the last
true.
question in that the
They
last
asked
one that
him
he
about
had.
Bond, right?
No, they asked him. But they said, do you need a big budget to make a good movie? And he said flat out, he's like, absolutely not.
Yeah. It's
so
just
good.
he's gotten to the
Memento.
point where he has that ability.
Yeah,
like
but like I
Scorsese.
could give him the shittiest camera that I have in here, and he could make Oppenheimer.
And he
with
could
it.
probably make Oppenheimer on a lower budget. It probably would have had
He
to been a
did.
bit more grounded.
I've seen so many good reviews recently about how exactly what you're talking about with Netflix, spending tons and
Yeah.
tons of money, and then you have and they do shit. They do
Right.
nothing for
Yeah.
revenue, and then you have Oppenheimer, which was 80 to 100 mil. With by the way, a top tier fucking cast. You
Yep.
don't just get Emily Blunt to walk in just because it's Christopher Nolan. And
Yep.
Cillian Murphy made $10 million fucking dollars front end on Oppenheimer.
And I just saw Margot Robbie between her like pay and residuals from the success of the movie made $50 million.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On
I mean,
Barbie.
she fucking cleaned up.
I mean,
How about Netflix takes all that money, pays the writers, so we can have more movies coming out? You know?
Yeah.
Death
you
of a
know?
unicorn.
Yeah. definitely.
AI, ChatGPT will
Yeah,
take over
right,
pretty
yeah.
soon.
We're all down.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
But I mean, while we're on that topic, though,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know if you saw Randall Park. You know Randall Park, our boy. What's his name in
Is that Monsters Inc.?
No, WandaVision and
Oh, Died the Cop.
yeah, the cop.
Yeah, I
Randall
took it.
Park.
No, there's
Randall the
Agent
Lizard from
Wu.
Monsters
yeah,
Inc.
right.
Is his
No,
name
doesn't kind of
Agent
look like
Wu?
Sam, the Randall from Monsters Inc.
Oh.
I'll do a side by side.
I
didn't say
Sam do a side by
No,
side.
I didn't say it. My cousin said that.
What's his name?
Blame him.
in,
It's been in my head since he said it.
Yeah, it's like Jimmy
2319.
Woo. Jimmy Woo.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
But he came out,
Randall.
just but he was talking about the Barbie stuff and how Hollywood is reading wrongly into the success of these movies. And he said, like, kind of what we were saying the other week. It's like, okay, Barbie's success is a successful movie. They're reading into it. We need to make more movies about toys,
Right.
versus we need to make more original movies with stories that matter.
Good
And
story.
it's like, I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, it's fucking idiotic.
But I just don't understand with Netflix, like after a movie like that, Red Note, and then that's the other thing. We don't know, A, how much these movies cost on Netflix, and B, we don't know how much they made because
Yeah.
they're on Netflix and they don't release any of that stuff. The question is, do they even know? Because if you're just going off how many subscribers you gained, like,
Well, that's the thing, RJ. It's like
How many clicks they get?
yeah,
Reviews.
I hate to bring him up because he's such a disgusting fuck. But like the reason Miramax did well was
Right.
because Harvey Weinstein was the creative guy and Bob Weinstein, his brother,
Sure.
was the accountant guy. And they used to bicker and bitch and moan at each other and fight. There's great like YouTube documentaries about the start of Miramax, and it's a brilliant. I wish he
well,
wasn't.
if you
a
do look
scumbag.
at those early 2000s movies, the Good Will Hunting, like they did invest in a lot of smaller movies that were
because
successful.
Harvey
Yeah.
was the guy who said, And Harvey was the guy who went to Quentin Tarantino and said,
yeah,
because
Tarantino
Kill
movies,
Bill was supposed to be all one film.
Yeah.
And he said, Tarantino was like, Harvey, I'd really like to split this up. And Harvey, like, imagine having the ability to be like, oh, you want to just make another multi-million-dollar film? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah,
Sure.
go ahead. Like,
And
that's
then
great.
Peter Jackson made him an orc.
Yeah.
Lord of the Ring.
Oh gosh, but what I'm saying though is that like that company itself and the
Yeah.
way that it was started was you had someone who was delegated or relegated or whatever
Right.
you call it to finance only, and then you have somebody who's only does creative stuff, and the two don't cross over. Harvey never told his brother how to spend money, and his brother never told him how to make creative decisions. And then you have companies like this where it's all accountants at the top. None of these people know how to make movies.
Just straight down.
And I guarantee you the CEOs of Netflix and the whole board of directors for Netflix, I guarantee you not one of them has ever been on a movie set or made a movie.
Probably
I don't
not.
care if it's with their kids. I don't
Right.
care what it is. They've never tried to make a movie.
I mean, that's a perfect example. Again, I know we're exhausted with these movies, but like Star Wars, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, the original plan was Kathleen Kennedy was the business producer. George Lucas was the creative producer.
Yep.
George Lucas wasn't happy with the direction they wanted to go, and he left. And this is what happened.
Right.
And we're stuck with Kathleen Kennedy, who is amazing producer, produced amazing films throughout her career, but she's not a creative producer.
Right.
And they didn't fill that slot, and we got left with what we have now with Star Wars.
And they're just beating the crap out of it.
Right. But yeah, that's what you need. You need the balance. And I will say, we're skeptical about what James Gunn is doing with DC now. There's a lot of controversy now with whether Gal Gadot's coming back as Wonder Woman, but
You're skeptical.
I am.
But you're upset about
hey,
it.
listen. If you're gonna reboot it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I get it.
But Peter Safran is the co-CEO with James Gunn. James Gunn's creative, Peter Safran's business.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good mix. It's smart.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to wonder if it's going to work out. But yeah, that's a good point. I think Netflix really doesn't. They're just pumping shit out.
And they never were.
Yeah.
They started as a company like Redbox.
They stumbled into this.
Yeah, 100%. This was a whole.
They were sending DVDs. Yeah, I mean.
Not to go on and on about the strike, but that's one thing that I like never. I don't know what side to like really be on. Because like if you're Netflix and you stumble into this multi-million-dollar thing and like you set up, like they set up the way that they pay stuff.
Sure.
They had no idea. Dude, when the television was invented, everybody said this is the stupidest thing in the world. Nobody's ever going to sit at home and watch stuff.
Yeah.
They're going to go to the movies like they have for the past 50 years. And everybody bought TVs.
Yeah.
So, like, they had no idea, The year that the car, and I'm just saying a little quick thing. The year that the car was invented, right? Right before the car came out, the very first car, there was articles in the newspaper saying, we don't know what we're going to do about horses because everything's horse and buggy, and there's going to be piles of shit all over New York City. We don't know what we're going to do. What are we going to do about all these fucking horse shit piles? Car comes out, never fucking worried about anything ever again. So it's like that advancement in technology and everything else, but that's why with the strike, I mean, I get it with the AI stuff and the chat GPT and everything, but like when it comes to the residuals and like it's the way they set it up with Netflix. I don't know.
Well, it's a new thing, and you have to learn from it. The question is, are they going to learn from it and make the right choice? The bottom line is, though.
But who has to adapt? Netflix has created something that is gold, right?
Yeah.
Do the writers have to adapt?
I don't know.
Well, they have all
their
these
numbers
movies
are going
fuck
down.
their original stuff.
Yeah,
RJ.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying they have the style, like the platform,
Sure.
and they have the name now too.
Well, it depends whether they want to last or not. Because if they're
Are you
not going to
telling me
last
that if the
they
writers-
continue to make this shit.
If it's all that comes out, because the writers don't want to give in.
But I'm saying Barbie and Oppenheimer prove that making money and making good movies can be both done.
Oh, absolutely,
Right?
100%. Yeah.
And to me, as a viewer, if Netflix keeps spending money and then making shit, I'm not going to subscribe to Netflix.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At some point, people are going to be like, "This is dog shit." Right?
Yeah, well, especially since the
I feel
streaming
like-
services across the board are all going up. Like, it used to be that HBO was the expensive one, but you knew what you were getting.
Sure.
And now there is so much content on Max right now
Yeah.
because of their merger with Discovery.
Yep.
You don't need to have any other streaming
It's
service.
the best one, and it's quality.
Best quality,
Yeah.
and the best, like, the most amount of content. You have all the Discovery Channel, which
Yep.
is so dope.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's a kids section. There's a whole bunch of stuff on HBO and every movie that I would ever want to watch, you know?
Yeah.
I go to Netflix when there's like literally nothing left to do, or if it's a specific thing, like I will watch the Bradley Cooper movie. I absolutely will.
Yeah.
You know?
But HBO Max isn't spending $200 on a Gal Gadot movie. They're dividing that money up against 4 really great shows.
Yeah, or buying shit from A24.
Exactly. Yeah.
Insane.
I think people need to look at HBO. They've been setting the standard for a while.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get a question of the day from Eden, big fan.
Shout out.
Sent it in. I actually missed her question the other week about Matt Smith and Vanessa Kirby, but then we ended up talking about it on the podcast anyway, so that worked out. But in honor of Barbie, obviously, what's your guys' favorite Ryan Gosling movie? Loved him in The Big Short. The Big Short's a great one. Adam McKay, good. I got to rewatch that. It's been a while since
It's a little confusing.
It is, which is why I want to go back to it.
Sure.
Margot Robbie's also in that too. She has that brief scene.
Yeah, that was just. I feel like that was.
Yeah.
Throw.
Matt, you want to go first? You got one right off the bat.
We'll go first.
Yeah.
My favorite Ryan Gosling movie is Crazy Stupid Love.
Nice.
Oh, interesting.
I
Okay.
love.
I think it's a great movie. That's probably my favorite rom-com. You know, just
Yeah,
like
it's up there
everything.
for
It's
me.
a great cast. I think Gosling's like awesome as it.
I
playing.
thought you were going to say The Notebook.
That would probably be number 2.
Okay, I thought
Probably
you were
Crazy
gonna say The
Stupid
Notebook.
Love 1, Notebook 2.
Yeah.
La La Land. You seen La La Land?
I have seen La La Land and
Yeah.
Barbie 3.
Barbie 3.
Those are my
Wow,
3
good,
favorite
okay, nice.
Gosling performances.
Nice.
All chick flicks.
I love Crazy Stupid Love. He's great.
It's a great movie.
I
Just
love
plays-
Ryan Gosling. I don't think.
All right, RJ.
I know what you're gonna say.
What?
I feel like you're gonna say Blade Runner.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
The Nice Guys.
Oh
With
yeah, you
Russell
like
Crowe.
that.
Oh,
I love
good
that
movie.
I
Good
love that
movie.
movie. I love the vibe, like 70s. He's so funny in that movie.
Like when he punches the door,
Have you seen
cuts
it?
his hand. Yeah, I watched it with you at
Oh,
your
you
house.
did? Yeah.
Cuts his hand open.
He's like, I'm sitting on your lap.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, that one's great. Yeah, when he punches the door.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
love the
scene.
scene too when he's at the bar and the guy comes up to him. He's like, "Hey, what do you want to drink?" He's like, no. And he's like, "Free drinks." He just turns and he's like, "Yeah." Good movie. Good
That's
movie.
funny.
What's the other one? I just watched Place Beyond the Pines. That was good. Is that going to be your pick there, Nick?
That's my favorite one. I would
Good
say
movie.
I would say La La
I was
Land
drunk.
too.
I'm not going to lie. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering how good it was.
That's his wife, right? She's the chick
yeah,
from
I
Hitch,
wonder if that's
too.
how they
Eva
met.
Mendes.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
I think she's beautiful.
she's a 10.
yeah.
she's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
That
And
was-
Place Beyond the Pines. It's a good.
The other
good
guy.
fucking
Interesting
movie.
movie.
What?
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie structured in that way where, like, you literally switch protagonists 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Pretty interesting. Yeah.
No,
I
but
do want to
he's really good in
rewatch
that.
it. Drive. I love Drive. Have you seen
Oscar
Drive?
Isaac's in there.
Yeah.
I've seen Drive.
Drive's good.
Doesn't talk a lot in that
He's
movie.
so. I
No.
feel like Oscar
He just
Isaac
drives.
is somewhat. Sometimes I feel like he's overrated. Sometimes I feel like he's underrated. I don't know.
Blade Runner 2049.
Good. I figured that would
Very
be one of
good.
yours too.
He's
Like,
in
no,
Remember the
that's
Titans.
a-
Small role. That was like
Small-
one of his
yep.
first roles.
I
It's a good movie.
feel like I'm missing.
How old
another
is he?
one.
How old is Ryan Gosling?
It's gonna
Late
be.
30s, maybe.
Oh, he's gonna be older than that.
Think so.
I feel like he's.
Oh yeah, he's 42.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks exactly the same as he did when he was 10.
He's a good-looking guy.
It's crazy.
Of the
Well,
Notebook.
what I like about Ryan Gosling is you can throw. He's versatile. You can throw him in the comedies. You can throw him in the dramas. What is that?
Nothing. I didn't say
But
shit.
he's got like a good. You know, oh, Blue Valentine is one that I've heard is good. I haven't seen that though. First Man. Have you seen that when he plays Neil Armstrong?
Oh no, I
The name-
didn't see that. Didn't that come out the same time as like The Martian? Like all those space movies came out.
Yeah,
Gravity.
2018.
Yeah.
Maybe around
I heard that was good. Anne Hathaway in that.
Oh, RJ didn't like it.
It wasn't good.
Interstellar clears. I mean,
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
Interstellar.
yeah.
That's like next
Right.
level, bro. Like, yeah. I mean,
I don't
listen,
know. Gravity.
listen.
Gravity. I need to rewatch it. Alfonso Cuarón, great director.
I like the
Love
way that they did the
Prisoner of
special
Azkaban.
effects. I looked at some.
I don't know.
behind-the-scenes
Just
special
George
effects
Clooney and
stuff.
Sandra Bullock floating in space for an
Yeah,
hour and a half.
yeah,
I love
okay.
Sandy B.
You know.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Miss Congeniality is a
Uh,
great movie.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. I don't know. He really doesn't have many bad movies.
Nah, he's
to be
great.
honest with you.
We all love
um,
Gosling.
Speaking of, what do you call it? The Blind Side. You hear about that shit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be.
Yeah.
Good. I mean, if
I
you want,
I haven't read
Michael
into
Orr.
it too much.
there. I read a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a
player.
little bit about it. Apparently, the actual guy.
Yeah.
Michael Orr.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name?
Michael Orr.
Michael Orr is suing the
Mhm.
family that took him in when he was in high school, like the actual version
Mhm.
of it, because apparently they made all the money on that movie and sold his story to the production company and everything, and he never saw a dime out of that
So it's
movie
just
or
surrounding the
anything.
movie.
The movie, the book, everything. Like that whole.
Why is this coming out now?
His NFL career's over, so he's not like.
How long ago did he?
This
leave?
is
Probably a
interesting.
couple years ago.
Right now on the Movie Mob, we're going to turn over to our sports analyst
Well,
Matt, who's
somewhat
going to say,
related,
"Yeah, go ahead, go."
Oh no, he had like good career as like an NFL player. He wasn't
only
like
37.
amazing, but he was good. But he's been retired for I don't know what, like probably 5-6 years now.
Interesting.
I don't know what it says. So maybe
Might
now
be running out of money.
maybe now because maybe if he tried to do this shit now, like like he wouldn't get a job like during his playing career, and it'd be a lot of controversy, or like maybe now he like doesn't have the money and he needs it. So I think him being retired for a little bit now is.
Yeah, he retired in 2016.
Yeah, so he's been retired for a bit now. So maybe.
Sounds
listen,
about right though. A lot of these NFL people and everything, they get out of the NFL and they lose their money so quick.
This could be totally true, and like if so, it sucks, and I feel for the guy. I hope he gets through. But I mean that could also be.
When did The Blind
motivator.
Side come out? That had to be like 03, right? Like this is something crazy.
It was like 2011.
Oh, was it really that recent?
What?
09.
People are calling for Sandra Bullock to return her Oscar.
2009, 2010.
How do you return an Oscar?
When,
Give it to me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll take it.
Sandra.
I'll take it. I'll leave the nameplate on it.
Yeah.
I'll put Sandra Bullock's Oscar up on the thing.
2009. The
Yeah.
Blind Side came out.
09.
Yeah, yeah, it had to be. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I don't know. Like it sucks, but then is there not a cutoff at some point? I mean, regardless of what we know or don't know, you're right.
Yeah.
It's coming out now. Why is it coming out now?
And like I don't know. To me, like if you came out about that after the movie, I feel like people would support you.
Well, how old is Michael Orr?
37.
37.
So in 09, he was probably in the NFL,
He
right?
Probably just got drafted.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Tons of money. That's when you sue. When you get the when you get your big
yeah.
No, because I mean lawyers are fucking expensive. Don't get me wrong. So like you gotta sue when you get the money. I understand waiting and not wanting to sue when they're literally the meal.
Yeah.
You know.
But who knows what like forces were like pressuring him at that time to not do something like that.
Agreed. Totally
You know
agreed.
what I'm saying?
Well, he wanted to make his place in the league too. You know what I mean?
Right. And
Probably.
people could have been blackmailing him, and who knows. So hopefully that gets resolved. The Blind Side, solid movie.
I
A
liked
bit
it.
melodramatic.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
But I mean it's supposed to be. It's like a whole thing. Sandra Bullock does a lot of melodrama. She's been doing some comedy
What
recently.
was that one she just did with Clooney?
Brad Pitt.
Oh no.
Oh, Bullet Train, right? Was she in that?
Oh, she wasn't that. No, I'm.
No,
what's
Matt,
Ticket
it's
to
the Bullock
Paradise?
train.
Oh, that's good shit.
Ticket to Paradise? Oh no, it's Julia Roberts in Ticket to Paradise.
Oh,
She was in
okay.
something with Channing Tatum, wasn't she? Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, I watched that on the plane. It's
I watched-
called.
That's nice.
God, what is it?
What the fuck was that called?
That's nice. I
It's
love.
alright.
I like Sandra Bullock.
I don't think I ever thought about it until
The
Matt
Proposal.
just brought it up.
I watched her in that movie Tammy with
Oh.
Melissa McCarthy. Is it Tammy? No,
What
The
was-
Heat.
The Heat, the Heat.
I
The
like
Heat,
when
The
they
Heat.
shot it at the Denny's at the mall.
that was
Dude.
big when that came
Yeah,
out.
The Heat. That is so good.
The Heat.
She is so good. in that.
Geniality.
that was really like the transition of like the death of comedies, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
we had the great comedies of the early 2000s. Then we started.
guys.
It would happen where like Kevin Hart would have like 5 movies come out. Melissa McCarthy would have 5 movies come out. They're all the same movie. They're not really that good. And then just
I love
comedies
Melissa
die.
McCarthy.
No, there's a few of them that are solid.
Yeah, I think I feel like when you let Melissa McCarthy like actually do her thing, like that's a good movie. But when you constrain her down to
Bird Box.
whatever it is,
The
you know.
Lost
I
City was
saw
the one
Bird
with
Box.
Channing Tatum.
What's the one with that
It's
chick?
actually funny. You get Brad Pitt's in it for like
Yeah, he was in the
small
trailer.
portion of the
Yeah.
movie. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
They got him on
it's-
set for a
I
day.
like that Brad Pitt trend where he like cameos in movies.
Yeah,
like kind of like
Deadpool
Matt
2.
Damon. He was in Deadpool 2.
He's just on
I
set
like
for a
that.
day, whatever.
I saw a great. Well, actually, I just thought about it when someone tweeted this. They were talking about how Cillian Murphy was asked like what Nolan movie he wished he was in, and he said
so.
Interstellar. That's like his favorite. I think because
Probably the only one he's
listen,
not
I
in.
like Matt Damon, but how better would Cillian Murphy have been if that was him on the planet?
Would have been better.
I think that would have been better.
Would have.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I would have bought that like psycho crazy twist too.
Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's real. Obviously, Cillian Murphy is amazing. I don't know. One thing that's really cool about him is he like kind of just disappears into a role. Like I forgot he was in Dunkirk, and watched that recently.
We're not going back.
Good.
We're not
I
going back.
rewatched
So
that
good.
before we saw Oppenheimer. It's so
Yeah,
good.
like it's just like fuck. Like oh
Yeah.
my god, you're everywhere,
Yep.
and like you're always somebody different. Like
But
that's
then
a
he
great
like
actor.
he disappears in the role and then he disappears in life.
Yeah,
You know, and then
he
comes
has
back
no
up.
he has no social media.
Yep.
He
I
has
love
no like anything like that. No smartphones. He doesn't. So many good compilations of Cillian Murphy online on YouTube of him. Someone be like, he'll be in an interview with another actor, and someone will say like, "Well, a fan wrote in OMG, da da da, all this stuff," and the guy next to Cillian will lean in and go, "That means oh my god," stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh, I have no idea."
You seen that one where the girl was like, "Why don't you have social media?" He's like, "I'm too old for that." He's like, "No,
Yeah.
you're not." He's like, "Yep."
Yeah, I am. That's the answer. That's
Dude,
my
he's
answer.
awesome,
I'm sticking
dude.
to it.
One guy asked him on an Oppenheimer interview, he's like, "Cillian, what's your phone screensaver?" He's like, "Ah, man, it's just black."
That's Christian. That's like Christian.
Yeah,
That's literally Christian.
he doesn't need it. He doesn't need that
Why?
shit. He doesn't care.
He's getting roles, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
well,
he-
that's true.
He's
Yeah,
so underrated. He might be the most underrated actor.
Yeah.
yeah.
definitely.
There's a lot of.
I want to watch that
Cillian out
movie.
there.
One of
Tell
the
me.
first ones he did. It's called 28 Days Later. It's a zombie like apocalyptic.
Cillian Murphy's
movie.
in 28 Days Later.
Yeah, he's the lead. It was
I
like
didn't
one
know
of
that.
his.
I've never seen
That's like Christopher Nolan saw him in that movie, and that's what he made him audition for Batman Begins.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
pretty
cool.
He actually, if you watch his Batman tape, he's not a great Bruce Wayne, but he's got a great Batman voice.
That's
Pretty,
interesting.
yeah. Pretty good.
There's a tape.
Yeah, watch it. Pull up the tape.
There's
It's
an
Cillian
audition tape
Yeah,
of Cillian
for
Murphy.
Batman.
For
The Cillian tape.
It's Christian Bale, Cillian Murphy, and another actor.
We don't care about the other guy.
Yeah, look up Cillian Murphy.
We also had Cillian Murphy's screen test for Batman.
Who was with Falcone at the docks?
He wasn't right for that part in the way that Christian was.
He's got two
But
big lips.
the performance was incredible, and everybody took huge notice of it while we were shooting it. And while we
Wow,
watched the
yeah.
test.
Joe murdered my parents, and they deserve.
Don't pretend you wanted to do this for them.
The studio and
I mean, he is a little psychotic, though.
He looks
He
so
does look
good though.
psychotic.
If it was like, if it was the Matt Reeves Batman, I feel like that'd be a bit more, I think that was it. There you
Okay,
go.
there's like, I don't know. I mean, there's like
I
something.
like his Batman voice. His lips are like too big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The problem. Well, the biggest thing with Cillian Murphy is that he looks like a skeleton. Like he's so thin, his
Yeah.
cheekbones
Yeah.
are so prominent. So like when in Oppenheimer, when he's like, at the end of it, when he's lost all that weight and he's like really, really nervous about everything, you can see it really well. Imagine Cillian Murphy in like The Whale, like the
God.
opposite, like he was
Yeah,
like putting on
yeah.
a fat suit or something. I don't know. Yeah, he looked good. He looked like a little kid in the Batman
He's
outfit
very
though.
skinny. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it would work
Good,
the right
good
way.
move, Nolan. Good cast.
Yeah, we approve.
Brilliant.
Movie
Yeah,
mob
we approve.
approved.
Brilliant.
10 years later, probably more.
Right,
Jesus.
right.
Yeah, it's honestly almost 20
I was gonna
years.
say it's
later.
closer to 20 years.
Fuck.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
That ain't right. All right. But all right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Movie Mob Podcast. Again, not a lot of topics, but I feel like we were able to talk about some good stuff today.
Yeah.
Hopefully this damn strike ends so we can get some more topics coming in here.
That would
But
be nice, yeah.
as always, guys, Movie Mob Podcast drops Fridays at 6 p.m. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below on any of the topics we brought up. Ask a question. We'll answer it next week. Until then, how you doing?